Hey guys, it's Daisy here with Pittsburgh CW Green Team with a very special CW buzz. Now we all know that Batwoman returns this Sunday for 4 weeks of brand new episodes, and we got a chance to sit down with Rachel Skarssten, who plays Alice in Batwoman. Hey Rachel, thanks so much for joining us. Now you have really caught everyone's attention by playing the newest villain in the Arrowverse. What has your experience been like playing this character?
I've had a really wonderful experience playing this character. She was all the things that I hoped for and more when I initially read for the part and had read the pilot script. She's very complicated, but very grounded at the same time as being, completely wild and off the wall. And I think as an actor, it's really fun because it allows me to sort of make a meal out of every script. But yeah, I think she's probably one of my favorite characters that I've ever played.
It really is a juicy character. Now, you had a chance to work with former CW actor, now director Paul Wesley. What was it like getting to work with him?
Oh, I loved Paul. I loved Paul Wesley so much. I didn't watch The Vampire Diaries, but of course I knew who he was. And you never really know what to expect when you meet someone, whose reputation precedes them. And he did not disappoint. He's so creative and gracious and funny and authentic, and it was a joy to work. It's funny, I worked a few days less that episode than I normally work, and I was so bummed because I just wanted to be on set and hang out with him. So yeah, he's very lovely.
Now, what was Paul Wesley like as a director?
I liked working with him as a director. I like working with any actor as a director because they understand an actor's process in such a different way. However, it doesn't always translate into being the best director, so you can be a wonderful actor's director, but not necessarily understand all the other moving parts on a set. But for me, Paul definitely did that. And I really, really enjoyed having his insight and just kind of watching him work and, the wheels turning in his head. So yes, double thumbs up for Paul Wesley.
I'm sure he'd love to hear that. Now, we saw in some Instagram posts that you and the cast love to have fun together on set. Is there anything specific that you guys like to do?
So the cast and I have a lot of fun on set. One of our favorite things to do to each other is find the most unattractive face filter and do it to one another when we are least expecting it. I would say I'm winning that game, but no one's here to dispute that, so go with that. Since we've been home, obviously we can't face filter one another as much as we would like. But it's been really nice to keep in touch with everyone and from Do Gray in the UK, Megan in California, Cam still up in Vancouver. I'm very appreciative of the technology of FaceTime because it's really nice to see their faces. I got so used to seeing them every day, and then now I just don't get to see them as much, so I have a bit of withdrawal.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Now, you also all seem to have a lot of pets on set, and I hear that you work with a nonprofit group that helps with fostering animals. How did you get involved with that?
So we have a lot of pets on set. We're very fortunate that our production is very pet friendly, which I love. I think every set is made better by animals. So it's not just the actors. We have lots of crew who have their animals running around. I think there's a joke on set that if Rachel Skarssten hasn't gotten you to foster a dog, it's only a matter of time. I'm very passionate about fostering and adoption, and I grew up with a mother who fostered all types of animals, but specifically special needs animals. And So a few years ago, a friend of mine had sent me a photo of a pit bull and her puppies who needed fostering, and I have a real heart for pit bulls. And so I reposted on my Instagram, and the organization thanked me, and I wrote them back and said, if there's anything I can do for you ever. And then later that day, I had a couple puppies and a mother, and that's sort of how I started fostering. And then that's through the LaBelle Foundation. And then the LaBelle Foundation hooked me up with I Help Save in Vancouver. And I sort of continued. I think I was there 3 days in Vancouver, and I had a dog, and my fiance came to visit me, and he was like, you already have a dog. So it is a revolving door of foster animals in my house.
Do you have any pets with you now?
I do have pets with me now. Of course. I have my dog Hazel, who actually was my first foster fail from the LaBelle Foundation. I fostered her and 2 other dogs that had been found in a dumpster in downtown LA. And the 2 other dogs were adopted, and nobody wanted Hazel. And it came time for me to leave to go to Vancouver to film Batwoman. And I just couldn't give her back. So Hazel came with me to Vancouver, and I adopted her. And then I have my cat Magnus, who is also an adopted Mancoon cat. And so it's the whole kit and caboodle here. They're actually in the bedroom with my fiance, because they like to chase each other, and it would just be like mayhem. You see like flying cats in the back and stuff.
Flying cats, the next new superhero. Okay, can you tease this episode that's coming up this week?
So the episode that's airing this week is an interesting one for Alice, because she finds herself in Arkham, which for any fan of the DC Batman, Batwoman universe, they will know as a very notorious prison for the clinically insane. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Alice deals with being in that setting. And also I'm really excited because she sort of crashes into all these other delicious villains in the universe.
Ooh, okay. Well, looking forward, what kind of antics will we see Alice getting into for the rest of the season?
So looking forward into this season, you can expect to see Alice in Arkham and, kind of carefully crafting her ever-evolving plan to ruin the lives of her father and Jacob and her sister Kate. And you can expect to see more interactions with different villains in the universe, which is really fun and was really fun for me. And then you can also expect to see Alice experience some real heartache and some real loss as well. So that was also interesting.
Okay, so one last question before we let you go. How have you been keeping yourself busy during this time?
So I have actually been keeping myself busier than I anticipated. We were pretty close to having our break for the season, and I was really looking forward to slothing around. It's one of my favorite things to do. But I came back, and I'm learning French, so I'm doing my lessons, and I'm a painter, so I paint. But also, a friend of mine, Paul Wesley, and I started an online fan event, and actually we had 35 actors, a lot from the CW, which was really lovely, and a lot of the proceeds went to first responders first. And so that was sort of just a little passion project to give back to the community of fans who I feel so grateful for. But it turned into actually a really big thing and a lot of work. So I was kind of joking that I've been a little bit busier in the quarantine than I even was when I wasn't in quarantine. And yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Rachel. And be sure to tune in for Batwoman this Sunday at 8 p.m. on Pittsburgh CW. CW Buzz has been brought to you by Navigating Teen Life. Subscribe today.